Hey, Zach, is Zach doing margarita deliveries?
So this is the pan. This is the pan that we're gonna use.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
And this is the pot.
No. Yeah.
Oh, we need a pot and a pan.
Yeah.
So we need a pot and a pan?
And a pan. Hey, Rusty.
Hey, Carlos, how are you today?
Fine.
Hello, Lady Alex. Hello, Lady Alex.
Hi, Bray.
Hi.
Hold on. Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan.
Hey.
Uncle Jay.
Good fish on there too.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
In crowd. Hey, what up, bro?
Hey, how you doing, man?
We're doing fine.
Hi.
Cool. Another day.
Another day. One day less or one day more, whatever you want to, however you want to count them, up or down.
I know it's challenging, but what are we gonna do?
One day closer, right?
Absolutely.
Closer to what?
That's a good question.
Where's the finish line?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
It is. It seems to be. No, Memo.
Oh,
It seems to be getting better.
That's fair. Woo! Cheers. Oh, no salt in the
Salud.
Cheers.
Me and Papa are on. You want to say hi?
Little boy.
So let's give 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Wait, Jonathan, or the people that just joined, we're gonna need like a big pan like this.
Okay.
And then we're gonna need like a big pot.
There's some kind of a glare though. Yeah, maybe you can close it.
Per large.
That's better.
I will.
Val de huesos.
Oh,
Down lower.
Hey, Gabi. Maria.
What up?
Hey, Val de huesos. What's up?
Hello.
2 minutes. 2 minute warning.
Oh, hi, Gabby.
Babe? Oh, look
Oh, Zar.
I don't want to see that.
Who else you got? Anyone else new? Nope.
Hey, Carlos, do we have to have anything prepped?
He says, hold on. Hold on.
Bree, what do we need to have prepped?
Drinks for the cooking. Everybody got a beverage?
Absolutely.
Dude,
Be alcoholic. It could be, just, afternoon coffee, water, Waterloo. Doesn't have to be alcoholic
Alcohol.
or alcohol, if anything. Okay. Gabby was asking if anything needs to be prepped.
No, I mean, just you need a big pan and a big little pot.
Big pot, big pan.
This is gonna go fast because this is super easy, so you won't have to endure my ugly face for a long time. Hey, let's get this party started, people. So the first thing that I want you guys to do is if you can get some hot water, really hot water in your tap water or whatever, just have hot water there.
Hot water?
Where am I put this?
How much do you want?
Whatever pot you're gonna use, like half of it.
Okay, drop it.
Half of the pot. Like if you have like a big pot like the one I showed, just half of it. Half of that.
Okay.
Peanuts. Okay, call me peanuts. Hey, it's
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, it's Shirley.
How are you? I just texted you.
We're having just because
Zoom. Sorry. Not my.
Come here. Hi, Dave.
Hi.
You gonna help mommy?
So,
Mom, that's Bennett's little bestie, Dave.
Nice.
niñas, van a tirar el monitor.
Hi, Bennett.
Hi, Tim. Hi.
Mom make Carnitas for you.
Oh, sorry. He doesn't have it right now.
So just fill your pot with half of the pot with water, really hot water. If it's not super hot, it doesn't matter. We're gonna boil it. So the carnitas are gonna be like on that water for a long, long time, like 3 or 4 hours. The more, the better. The more time they're in the water, the more tender they're gonna come out. So that's that.
Do you want us to turn the water on?
Yeah, turn the water on and make the water hot, because the hotter the water, the less you're gonna have to wait for it to boil.
Lauren, we're gonna mute right now?
No.
And then just start coming on.
We boil it right now?
Do we boil it, Carlos?
Yeah, if you already have the pot like half full, just put it on the burner, hot water to boil.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this is my pot. So you can see the water there. So I'm gonna put that pot in the burner. So I'm gonna turn on the burner. And we're gonna put that water there. Okay, so put that water in the burner, and then just put a lid on it. Okay.
High heat or medium heat or what? Just let that.
We want it to boil. We want it to get really, really hot. So just put it to hot. And now while that is happening in the background, we have the meat. No, we have to have like this meat that has a lot of fat. The fattier, the better. So this is the pork, the boneless pork ribs, right? So what we're gonna do with this, we're gonna take our big pan and then put it on the stove.
Hi, Jenna. Hi, Tim.
Jenna, team.
Hi, Alana.
Hi, Alana.
We have no idea how to get the video going.
Hi,
everyone.
Are you here just to see?
What?
You need to boil you need to boil water.
Oh, we already started?
Yeah.
Hi, Zach.
Nothing critical has happened. Only putting water to boil. Like we have a big pan, a big pot.
Okay.
And like half of the pot, or a little less than half, with hot water, just put it to boil a little bit.
Boil, okay.
Yeah. Jenna and team, are you following me? I cannot see you guys.
We're trying to fix the camera.
But we are following you.
Carlos,
Okay.
let me see your large pan. How large?
My large what? Okay, my large pan. Here's my large pan.
There's nothing larger in your house other than your pan.
Surprise, buddy.
So, hey, Carlos, you want us to heat that pan up with some oil or something?
No, not yet. So, pan, you're gonna get some butter, and be generous with the butter.
Butter. How much butter?
I don't know why the
Much
camera.
butter. I'm putting this much butter. Mi amor, vas a tirar el monitor. This much butter.
Oh, Bennett, we're trying to get quiet.
I missed how much butter.
That butter, put it in the pan, medium hot.
No, it's inside the pan.
Plus the butter.
Carlos, I didn't see the butter. Was it a whole stick?
Let's say half of a stick. While the butter is melting, you get the meat, and then you just put salt and pepper on the meat.
¿Cuánta mantequilla, güey? Cámara.
Camera girl, because we're missing stuff here. So you just grab some salt. Grab some salt and just salt and then some pepper to join in deal. A lot of people today.
Hey, Tim Gill.
So you salt and pepper and then you turn it around. And the same the other side. Just salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. In the meantime, you can see the butter is already melting. Okay? And then grab the meat and just put it to sear.
What did he salt? Sorry, we have to change.
What do we do for meat? The pan?
Okay, so the meat is it's in the butter, and we wanted to turn it really like nice and brown. So both sides is gonna turn nice and brown. We are not gonna fully cook it, just in the outside. So,
Did you put all the meat in, or?
yeah, I put all the meat in. That's what she said.
Okay.
Hey, Carlos,
Yes, sir.
apologize. We had technical difficulties, so we're a few minutes behind.
No worries. So it's very simple. This is a very simple recipe. So you have a pot and a pan.
Yep.
The pan has butter and the meat with salt and pepper. That's it. And then you are gonna sear the meat. Just make it brown in the outside. And the pot has just water.
Oh,
Just
okay.
water.
Okay. So is it butter or is it lard?
You can do lard or butter, whatever you want. We are gonna use the lard in a second, but you can do lard or butter. I usually use butter for browning it, and I use the lard in the pot.
Thank you. Sorry for,
No, that's fine.
Gives us time to drink.
Now in the pot, while the meat is happening, we are gonna add some salt.
Carnitas.
And now we're gonna add the lard. So you take the lard. Lard in Spanish is manteca. And you're gonna cut, I don't know how much your lard is, but let's say this one has, how much is one? This is 1 pound. This is 1 pound of lard. So I'm gonna cut maybe a third of it. No.
Third of it?
So you got a third of the lard. And then that third, you cut in 3.
I'll cut the third in 3s.
Yeah. So you got that third, those 3 like little things, and then you just put in the water.
All 3 or just 1?
All 3. All 3 are in the water now.
It's not boiling. Is it?
Excellent. We are doing well, people. So while that is happening, let's see how the meat is going. As I said, we are not going to fully cook the meat. We are just going to make sure that it gets like really nice and brown in the outside.
Really nice and brown on the outside.
More bluebies?
I just have the camera on.
Múvete de ahí, corazón.
Hey, Lana.
Yeah. Hi. Hey guys.
What you do? Turn off your heater?
What?
You turn off the heater in your house?
Salud.
My heater?
You have your jacket on.
Oh, I know. My heater's on. My house is still freezing. Wait, so I put the lard in the water?
The lard is in the water.
You know you fat lard.
What's that?
In that movie.
Alana probably would get it if she heard me.
Where's Gabe, Alana?
Oh, wait, he's on a walk with Macy. She was being cray-cray.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab the orange juice.
Oh.
Does anything else go in the water besides the lard?
The lard goes inside the water. So there's two ways of making carnitas. One is making just plain lard. So you just kind of heat the lard and then just put the meat inside the lard. And that makes them really, really like tender, but it's hard to add other flavors to it. So we add water and then we add lard. So it's kind of half water, half lard. It's not as heavy,
Okay.
fatty. Okay? So we're gonna grab.
So you put one third of the pound of lard.
1/3 of the pound of lard in the boiling water.
All right.
And then we're gonna grab the orange juice, and then we're gonna put 1 full cup of orange juice in the water.
How much? 1 cup?
1 cup
All right.
In the water.
in the water.
I want to do
1 cup?
1 cup.
1 cup.
So that water now has
1 cup, right?
1 cup, 1/3 of the pound of the lard, some salt, and 1 cup of orange juice. Thumbs up? Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
And the meat is turning really nice and brown in the outside. Nice and brown. So usually this kind of meat comes in a cut that it looks like a square. So just turn it around so all of the sides turn brown. Okay. Ahorita. So that water has to be, we have to wait for it to boil. While it boils,
You get off the water.
the meat, we turn around the meat so it's nice and brown in all of the sides.
What?
Just turn around the meat so it's nice and brown.
¿El agua la sigo dejando hervir o ya le bajo?
Hierba, hierba, sí, sí que hierba. Okay, so now we're gonna add half of the evaporated milk to the water.
How much, Carlos? Sorry.
Half of it, half.
All right.
Half evaporated milk to the water?
Yep.
Half of the can?
And that water looks really disgusting right now. It looks like really bad. The more disgusting, the better. That's the way Mexicans like it.
Half can of the milk, Carlos?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Half of the can of the evaporated milk?
Half of the can. So now that water has the lard, the orange juice, the evaporated milk, and some salt. Now, while that is happening, grab 2 full cloves of garlic.
Garlic.
Yes.
No, she said
Oh,
garlic.
oh, garlic, yes.
How many? 3?
2.
Well,
How many?
2 garlic.
Not too full.
No, 2 parts. So
These are pretty big, so you can have 2 or 3. You can have 4 if you want.
You can never have too much garlic, right?
You can never, who said that? That Rusty.
I did.
There you go.
that's right, Rusty.
That's right, Rusty. Right answer.
You got that right, Rusty.
So just cut them in half. And guess where those garlics are gonna go?
In the water.
In the water.
No, just cut them in half and throw them in the big pot.
Okay, now the meat is really nice and dark. That's what you said. We're gonna put it down.
In the water.
Wait, you
All
chop
of the
garlic?
water, right?
Carlos, how much garlic in the water?
I put 2 big cloves, like so. My cloves were like this big.
You 2 big cloves, okay.
Yeah, but you have to peel them and clean them, and then just put in there. So now the water has water, salt, lard, orange juice, and evaporated milk.
So you don't have to chop the garlic, just throw in the whole thing?
Just like crush. I usually do like crush them with my chef knife. I peel them,
Uh-huh.
and then in the center there's like a little green thing. I usually take that because that's very bitter, so I just take that out.
Okay.
And then just put it in there.
Did you add salt to the water you said?
Yeah, just a little salt. Now my meat is nice and dark. That's what you said. So to the water, we're gonna add a couple of more things. A little cumin.
Cumin?
Cumin. Not too much because it tastes a lot. So just a little cumin. Let's say a tablespoon of cumin if you want. And then a tablespoon of oregano. Okay, almost there.
How's it going, everyone?
Everybody thumbs up.
Just the top on the water.
Take a breather. Salud.
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 I don't know how the rest of the Jewish community feels about us having pork during Passover, but we're breaking all the rules.
We like to break the rules here.
We've been eating bread all week too, so we really.
That water is real nasty.
Okay. So if the meat is already nice and dark in the outside, you turn it, you take it away from the heat.
Ooh, that's nice. Here, Alex, you gotta go on the other side. Other side, baby.
So you can see my meat, nice and dark.
So once it's nice and dark, then what?
Just take it out of the heat. No more. Don't make it anymore. So now the water should be almost boiling.
Science, if you
Alex.
Alex, look.
Okay, so again, the water has the milk, the orange juice, the salt, the garlic, the cumin, the pepper, and the oregano. we open the pot and we put the meat in.
You said a tablespoon of the season?
What's that?
A tablespoon of the seasoning.
1 tablespoon of each one of them, yes.
Yeah.
So we put it in the meat.
Help me. Yeah, it's in that drawer over there. Oh, one of those, yeah. Or this way.
So now that the meat is in, we turn it down to maybe half fire, like, I don't know, if it's 0 to 10, 5. And then close it. My only guidance is if you close it, just get a good eye on it, because sometimes because of the lard, it boils up and it can make a mess. Or you can turn down the gas and then of the fire, and the gas keeps coming out and it's dangerous. And then the other thing is that the fat that was left there by the butter and the meat, don't throw it away. We're gonna use it later.
Yeah, don't throw that away. We're gonna use it later. Yeah, leave it.
If you have, I didn't get the oranges, but if you have an orange, wash the orange and cut it in half, and also put half the orange inside of the water.
Peel and everything, just cut it in half.
No, just cut it, just wash it well, cut it in half, and put it in the water.
Just the whole orange?
Just the whole orange?
With the peel and everything?
Half of it. Half of it. Half the orange.
Half the orange, people.
You have to peel it?
No, just cut it in half. What you want is the juice and the flavor that comes out of the skin.
Okay. Does my meat look done?
No. It
No?
needs to be a little darker from the outside.
A little darker? Okay.
Yeah, so if it's not turning dark, just get the heat a little higher, like put more flame to it.
Okay.
So it gets nice and dark in the outside. It doesn't matter if the meat is raw in the inside, because the meat is gonna go in the water and it's gonna boil there for a long time. Okay, so the water is starting to boil, and that meat is gonna be there for at least 3 hours, at least.
We just let it sit now, right? Just boils for 3 hours.
3 hours.
You know when it's done.
We're gonna be
tonight.
We're gonna be drunk in 3 hours.
I have this little like fun. So you're gonna start like picking the meat, and the meat has to be so tender that it kind of like disintegrate, right? So you're gonna be able to like, whatever you put in there, the meat is gonna start like coming apart. So once that is happening, you get a colander, and then you're gonna put all of the water with the meat, and all of the water is gonna go away, and the meat is gonna stay here, right? And then that meat, you put it back in the original pan just to fry it a little bit more.
Yum.
With the juices that were already there.
That's good.
Just
But
add
that's 3 hours of sitting in the pot, right?
3 hours are gonna be, just make sure that you take a good look at it, because of the lard and the milk, it can go past the rim and just bubble up and make a mess.
That already happened.
That happened already? Yeah. So if it's boiling too hot, just turn it down a little bit, and then the lid, just let a little hole in the lid so some of the vapor can come out.
You keep a little hole in the lid?
Yeah, just a little hole. Let me show you.
Yeah.
So you see, I left this little like hole, so some of the vapor comes out, but it still is very hot inside. Okay.
Like that? And then fry it.
Carlos?
Yes, sir.
No, it's me. Is that okay putting it?
That looks okay. Yeah.
Just drop it in the pot?
Drop it in the pot. Drop it like it's hot.
Was it?
Hi.
Hi, Alex.
Alex, they're saying hi to you. Say hi.
Everybody, thumbs up. We are doing well. Jonathan, Rusty, Tim, Brian, and yeah, Tessie, thumbs up. Medina's thumbs up. Nacho, doing well. Dave,
We're good.
We're good.
okay.
Uncle Zach.
Uncle Zach, drinking.
We're good, yeah.
Salud.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna leave it there like for approximately 3 hours. When you see that the meat is almost done, and then you get the tongue and then you start like picking it out and everything comes out. The other thing that I do is I grab my little spoon and some of the fat of the lard is gonna look like little crumbs of fat on the top of the pan. You can just take them away and just throw into the garbage because it's too much fat. So that fat is gonna stay in the top of the water. So you can just come with a little spoon and take that fat out. Okay? So it's too much the fat that coagulates on top, and then you have the meat, and then that meat you put in the colander. Okay? When that is done, then you put back the meat and you fry it in the pan, and then you fry it for I don't know 3 minutes just to make it a little crispy in the outside again. When all of that is done, then the carnitas are done. You can just add some salt just to taste. And then what you do is you grab some So when the carnitas are done, and you have everything set and ready, the carnitas are done, you're gonna slice and dice some red onion or white onion, whatever you want, and then some parsley. This is the real Mexican way, the street taco Mexican way. And Nacho can attest to that, right, Nacho? Am I right or am I right? Yeah. Some parsley and onion. Then you grab a soft corn tortilla. There's not such thing as the tortilla. How do you call the tortilla thingies?
Flour.
What? No, the ones that come in the Taco Bell. What do you call those?
Oh, yeah. Hard shell?
Hard shell tortillas do not exist in Mexico. Right, Nacho?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you grab one of the corn tortillas and you heat them in the top, and it has to be like a nice corn tortilla. And then you put the carnitas on top, onion and parsley, lime and salsa, and then you eat it. Okay, I will.
Hey, Carlos.
Yes.
Carlos, there's different ways to heat tortillas. What do you suggest?
Stove top. So I have my stove.
All right, do it on a flat griddle.
The flat thingy, you can add a little oil. I don't add oil. And then you just put in there until they are soft, and then you put the carnitas on top. So Brie was telling me that I was not really clear on how do you know if the carnitas are done or not. So I'm gonna say it again. So right now, if you want to play the camera.
Yep.
The carnitas are boiling there. So you can, so I grab my tongs, and then the carnitas are, you can see that they're really hard. So after a while, once I do this with the tongue, the carnitas are just gonna come, they're just gonna start dissolving. I'm gonna be able to take pieces of it really like very, very easy. The more tender, the better. They have to like dissolve, almost dissolve. Okay, so when that is done, and then again, what is gonna happen is all of the lard, you see this little white thing on top of the meat here? That's some of the fat from the lard. All of that is gonna, look, all of that in much bigger scale. All of that, this is the lard. just grab with a spoon and just take all of that lard out because you don't want it. You don't want to eat the lard. You want to eat the carnitas. The lard is just gonna make the carnitas more flavorful. But as the water starts consuming, and you get more and more lard, you can just take it out with a spoon. And then once you say, and I cannot be there to attest for that, but once you say, okay, the carnitas are really, really tender, if they have still, they're gonna probably have a lot of water yet. So you just grab the pot and you just put it through a colander, and all of the carnitas are gonna sit there. Colander. And then just tear them apart with a fork or with the tongs. Just tear them apart. The more, the better. Once that is done, and then you have all of the carnitas set in a little recipient or whatever, heat the oil and the butter oil that you have from when you brown them. Heat them a little bit, and then once it's hot, put the carnitas in so they really get really brown and crispy in the outside. And that is going to take like 3 minutes maybe. And then that is done. Then you just have to warm up the tortillas, and then you just cut and dice the onion and cut and dice the parsley, and then you just eat, and that's that.
Did you leave it boiling or do you turn it down?
The what?
Is it boiling or did you turn it down?
It is boiling. You can see the boil. It's boiling.
Nice gentle simmer.
Exactly, nice and gentle. Like you have to let it if it's too hot, it's gonna come out. So it has to sit there for 3 hours at least.
It's at a 4 right now on our stove.
So, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
Okay. What else, guys? Any doubts?
Sounds
I
amazing.
think,
Looks
thanks,
so good.
Carlos. I think we're good. We'll take over from here, right?
Great. Yeah. And for next week, if somebody wants to pitch in and bring a recipe for the rest of us, I know that you cook, Jonathan. So why don't you just raise your hand and say you're gonna?
No, Jonathan.
Come
What
on,
do you think
Jonathan.
about it?
I think Bree should do it next week.
Yeah, Bree makes a really nice sandwich. She made me a sandwich once, like 10 years ago.
How about salami sandwiches?
One sandwich in our 10-year relationship.
You're
That's
funny. Everybody's funny. Get your chuckles out. Very funny.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
you guys.
Thank you. Thank
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
What do you say to do it?